Hello everyone and welcome back to another video where I am in the studio because this is the third video of our voice bodywork series where I am literally walking you through a load of exercises that are gonna increase your craft, acting, voice skills to the max. So I'm really excited for today's video. It's breath and support, which is a massive topic and a really important section, just like they all are, of our warm-up. There are so many ways that I could do this, and I've been racking my brain as to what would be the most helpful for you. And we're gonna go down the route of using breath for voice and support in terms of a lot of fricative work today. So we're gonna be going through different fricatives, which I'll explain what they are in a little bit. We're gonna be using the body and rolling through the body to help support the voice. We're not going to be focusing on, breath into text or support into text. But if you did want more exercises and real experiential long 40-minute exercises on a whole sequence, you can always check out my PDF, The Secrets of a Voice and Communications Expert, where you literally have bullet point exercises that are over like 40 of them and over 50 pages of anatomical referencing of why we do it. So today, I've chosen the route of what is going to be realistically the most helpful for you to just take away from this short video and put in your pocket for next time. We're not going to be doing any of the super long ones because it's also hard to get that through in a video format, and that's what knowledge and papers and PDFs and private coaching is for. Anyway, after all that rambling, I am ready to take a bit of a breath. I think it's a little bit quieter in the studio today, so hopefully it will have no problem talking you through what we're going to be doing. We're not going to be doing any floor work for today, we're just going to be standing up, so just grab something comfortable. Again, feel free to do a spinal roll or just a shake out just to make sure you're nice and ready, and let's crack on. So, breath work. Now this is of course literally the start of how voice works, so it is absolutely integral that as an actor or as a presenter or as anyone using their voice that you have brilliant breath and support and you have a good understanding of what you want the breath to do. In really simple terms, just for the space of time, you effectively allow breath to drop into the body. When we allow breath to drop into the body, you're then inflating the lungs. When the lungs inflate, this big muscle here called the diaphragm then contracts. This allows your belly to expand like so, okay? So it's like your belly is a balloon, and what tends to happen is when we think inhale, people go, and this is how we inhale, and we suck all the air in, but actually, that's not what we want, that's not optimal, because when we suck all the air in, it's like the vocal folds start to panic, and so more air comes through the vocal folds, making your voice sound a little bit like this, rather than a nice, full, rich voice. So we want to make sure that we're really allowing the breath to get right into here, and we're not sucking the breath in. You don't need to suck the breath in, we just need to engage the ribs and the diaphragm. So just to feel what's happening in that rib engagement and diaphragm engagement, because obviously also as your diaphragm moves down, these ribs either side want to move outwards. We're going to start with the pranayama, which is a yoga exercise, which I am not trained or qualified for, but I have been led through it by people who are, and so I'm going to share it with you. However, if you really enjoy it and you want to keep it going, please do your own research and find another yoga person. But this is what I was taught. You effectively are going to bring your hands to your nose. You're going to block one nostril with your thumb, and you're going to close your mouth and exhale through that nostril. Once you've exhaled all the air out, I'm then going to switch, so I'm going to bring my index finger onto that nostril, and I'm going to allow the breath back in through the other nostril. Once all the air is in, I'm then going to block and exhale. And I'm just going to repeat that, so air is out. Inhale here, not inhaling through the mouth like I just did. Block. And I really love this for feeling what's going on around here, because as you may be able to tell in my belly, when I allow that breath back in, it allows everything to expand really nicely for me, and I just find it really useful. That's also a fantastic one to just do for calming the sympathetic nervous system, calming your fight-flight response, and just getting you into a calmer space. So please take that. It is not mine. It is a very ancient, fantastic tradition exercise, but myself and other voice coaches find it really useful as well. So we are now going to move on to some breath work in terms of getting into the ribs and just stretching it all out. So all you're going to do is your feet on the floor, you're going to bring one hand up, you're going to bring that hand forward. Now I am not doing a dancer stretch where I'm trying to get all the way down here and I can feel it here. Instead, it's almost like I'm just pulling on my wrist and bringing it up, because what I'm interested in is what's called my intercostal muscles, which are the little muscles in between my rib cage. In fact, before we do that, why don't you bring your hand into an L shape and you can just have a little feel around your ribs, which always feels a little bit strange, I know, but it's good to just get a sense of your body, remind yourself that you're 3D. Okay, and so once you've had a little bit of a feel, this is what we're going to be stretching out. So when we bring it up like so, you're going to grab your hand and we're just going to give a bit of a pat around the ribs, around the intercostals, just waking them up. You can also give a little bit of a rub, a little bit of a pinch, whatever you like. And just remember that sensation of everything here expanding as you allow the breath in. And you can then let out a sound, exploring all the way up, all the way down, and relaxing that hand down. And then you can have just an experiment, bring your hands into those L shapes, bring them under the ribs. Now I tend to find that people kind of hold them too down low. For me, and I know it sounds a bit intrusive, but they are literally under my breasts, so if that helps anyone, really bring them higher than you think. It's literally a case of folding my arm over itself. And while I'm here, I'm just going to allow the breath to drop into the body. Note I'm saying allow the breath rather than suck the breath in. Think of that expansion. And it feels like this side is actually expanding a little bit more easily, a little bit more freer than this side. So that's always a good thing to recognize as well, the effects of what you're doing. And just giving a pat on the other side. And a bit of a massage, a bit of a rub. You don't have to do all three, it's really up to whatever is comfortable for you. Just making sure you're going all the way up the rib cage and all the way down. And again, just having a feel. You can almost imagine that this hand is like a door, and as you allow the breath in, just nice and gently opening that door. Great. So not only are we expanding the belly this way, but we're also expanding the belly this way and the back. And I am obsessed with breathing into the back. I think it's one of the most underrated, and it is spoken about a lot with dancers in the industry, but I just think expansion and breathing into the back is one of the most underrated tools that can really help to elevate your voice work, elevate your communication. So we're just doing the same thing that we've done with the side, but now around the back. So you're just going to have a feel of where in the back you can feel this expansion as you allow the breath in. And you're just going to give a nice little pat and give that as you do so. Lovely. And again, you can give a nice rub. And you should be able to feel that whole area expanding. So you've got the sides, the belly expanding here, belly expanding back, and you've also got expanding in the pelvic floor, which is probably the most bizarre one when people start this work, but it's really true. You don't just breathe in one direction, in three directions, you also breathe down low. So what you can do for the pelvic floor is actually find a wall or find something that you can lean against, and you are simply going to take your feet a little bit away from the wall. You're going to bend your knees nice and slowly, and as you allow the breath in, I'm just imagining everything nice and dropping into the body, opening up. And I'm just connecting with that sensation. It's almost a sensation, not to be too vulgar, that you're going to piss, okay? That's kind of what we're doing now. And you're going to take that up against the wall. You're going to do the same thing, but without leaning against the wall. So see if you can get that same effect. And it's connecting to that, which over time is going to become part of just the way you breathe. Even though it might feel very forced right now, it might feel a little bit alien, hopefully it doesn't feel harmful or painful. It should feel pretty easy, even if it feels new. So just connecting with that image means over time, it's just going to be part of your breathing. So now we've taken time to really feel what's happening when we allow that breath in. Let's move on to support. So we're going to move on to fricative work for this. Fricatives are very simply a type of consonant letter where the air is being released slowly through the articulators. For example, let's take a letter such as P. P. That is a plosive sound versus a which is a fricative because I'm slowly releasing that air. If you are interested in more phonetics work, by the way, I do have a whole other series all on accents where I break down all of these different consonants. But for now, we're going to use fricatives to help us with our support work. And all we're going to do to that is we're going to roll through the joints of the body on different fricatives. It's really simple, but it's fantastic because it releases, it aligns, and it allows that breath to drop in nice and low. Because every single time I take a breath to do this fricative, I'm imagining all those 4 points of breathing into the pelvis, breathing into the belly, the ribs, and the back. I'm really being conscious. This work is all about conscious delivery steps so that they start to become unconscious again. So you're going to start with your ankle, and you're just going to start rolling through that ankle on a shh. Making sure you're taking the time to allow the breath back in. Shh. And the other side on the voiced equivalent. Taking time for that breath to drop back in and then hands on knees, we're going to move on to an S and a Z. Feet staying together for me. Onto the hips, so feet slightly wider than hip width apart, hands on the hips, and I'm actually talking the hips, not the waist, so bring it lower than you might think. Then you're going to go around on an F and then switch to a V. You might also like this exercise if you want to increase your breath capacity. Obviously, the more you do it, the more you can see if you can rotate a little bit further with the same breath without sucking in, because that's not helpful at all. Continuing on with this, we're going to go into the shoulders, and you can now just start doing whatever fricative you like. And the elbow. And the whole hand. And notice that I'm trying to allow the fricative and the movement of my body to coincide. So I'm not fighting it, I'm going with it. It's okay if that fricative isn't like a held, beautiful sound. It should be nice and free. On the other side. Lovely. And now moving on to the head. Just gonna drop the head downwards like so. And just nice and gently so I'm gonna roll it to one side and the other side. And the voice. And to just finish off, I'd just give it whatever sound you want to make, shake out the whole body. And that wraps up your fricative work for breath and support. And so that wraps up yet another video in our series, Voice and Body Work, bringing you through all of the stages of a voice warm-up, how to look after the voice, as well as set it up for success. I hope you enjoyed today's video. As I said, there are so many different breath exercises. These are the ones that I just thought would be the most explainable in a video format like so. But if you are interested in more, obviously you have my PDF, The Secrets of a Voice and Communications Expert. It's called The Secrets because it is literally everything that I know. It is about 50 pages, so please have a look at that if you're interested. And if you have any questions, please drop a comment below, reach out to me on social media, or reach out to me on my 30-minute free consultation link. You will not be charged for having a chat because I love chatting to you as well. Do check me out on any other social media, and we have one more video in this series. I might make a whole other series when it comes to text. We're just working on body for this one. But yeah, I'm very excited. So in a couple of weeks, I will see you back here for focus on resonance and articulation. I hope you enjoyed. If you've watched this far, please give a like, subscribe, share with a friend, all of that jazz. And I will see you soon. Thanks guys, bye.